Last time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater. Ortega and Viva left Northport and headed to Southport, tried to revive Morrigan, while Longa replaced Viva's memories with ones of him smashing up the town of Southport. After falling asleep in the end, Ortega took control of her body, hacked from Ramses. Back on the island of Reyes, a new power couple arrived and helped repopulate, rebuild, and rename the town, and ravaged the now deserted Dwarven Mine Keep. And now, Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater continues.
You wake up in what looks like a large stone hall on top of near a big, what looks like metal circle, or crystalline type circle. Crystalline metal combo circle. There are a couple drow guards by the door with mechanical arms. And you have a note.
Alright, I'm gonna read the note.
Headed to Southport, basically. Not a whole lot of other information, not even who it's from. But you wake up and realize, seeing the drow, that you're probably in Westport. Just based on your knowledge of the place. And the note says, whoever left it says they headed to Southport.
Alright, well, I guess I'll head to Southport, assuming that it's Ortega, because that's the last person I was with.
Safe to assume.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'm not, in any sort of trouble, I'm just left there, right?
Yeah, they seem fine with you being there. The guards aren't they're watching the room more than watching you. They seem to be more concerned about the glass, or the crystalline steel circle on the floor. They seem more concerned with watching that than watching you, really.
Alright.
You seem to be free to come and go as you please.
Can I use that thing to get to Southport, or is that only to go back to,
You want to roll diplomacy and ask?
Yeah, sure. Wow. That's going to be 16 on diplomacy.
The guards say so far it only goes to Nevercrooks.
Huh. Alright, well, I asked them to put me in the direction of Southport, which I should know, right?
They point south. But yeah.
Great.
This happens every time, but yeah, they point south.
That's useful.
Yeah.
I know. Alright, I will head south towards Southport. I'm going to use a survival check to try to track them.
Correct.
Which is going to be reasonable at 20.
Yeah, you know where Southport is, and you know if that's where they're headed. You know to get there. You've been there. So you follow. There's no road or anything. And they don't. I mean, they might have left.
To try to track their specific trail.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of trails leading to Southport. Southport doesn't get a whole lot of visitors. At least not via the plains. There's no road there. So whatever tracks that are leading there, you could assume was them. So you're very easily able to follow tracks towards Southport and reach Southport. Let me roll to see if anything happens on your way there, real quick. For some reason, all it's going is you. I rolled a 99.
Jesus. Alright.
So hold on. Now I have to look and see what happens on the road. I was not prepared for that.
Hopefully a big dumb creature.
Yeah.
I'm good at those.
Yeah, you crushed those ogres, dude. That was awesome.
And dinosaurs, too. Back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Phenomenon Forest.
But you got killed by rats, so I don't know.
This is what?
But you got killed by rats, so...
That was before I was an oracle.
That's true. That's back when you were just some sort of dumb fighter.
I was just a dumb oracle.
Roll me a perception check.
Alright, that's gonna be... 13.
Alright, you see 2 adult and 3 cub brightly colored felines. Kind of like cheetahs. Like crossed between a cheetah and a lynx. But they also seem kind of, for lack of a better word, fiery.
Alright, I don't have knowledge of nature.
They seem to be surrounded by some sort of smoke even.
Smoke even. Okay, detect magic. How about that?
Yep.
Yeah, they're magical.
Not only do you detect magic, you all of a sudden feel afraid. You feel like you are looking at these animals and they see you, and you see them, and you feel as afraid as they look. Like they look scared of you, and you, for some reason, feel that fear. You feel that scared. You feel like you see yourself looking at yourself, and like would I hurt myself type of thing.
They're reflective animals where
Yeah.
he's going to attack them and they're just going to...
So even whenever you think about attacking them, it seems almost like you would be attacking yourself. You feel very empathetic towards these poor creatures.
Fuck up.
Empathy cheetahs.
Well, I mean, Murderous Command can't attack me, so... well, can I do a sense motive on him?
Yeah.
That's gonna be 13. So
I mean, they seem afraid. They seem to feel the way you feel whenever you look at them.
okay. Well, then I'm going to use a. Would it be a bluff check to make myself feel scared but not be, so that they would be scared? So
I mean, I think they're scared and you're feeling that. I don't think they feel your emotions as much as you're feeling theirs.
Oh.
They're frightened by you, and you're for some reason feeling empathetic with them.
Okay.
You're having that same emotion conveyed back upon yourself, like a mirror looking at yourself. You realize how scary you look because you're a big centipede, scary thing, and they're like a pair of these things with their children. Like they're obviously protecting a nest of children, and they're frightened of you. And
Alright.
you all of a sudden look at their eyes and understand how frightened they are of you. You feel the same. You feel how if that was you if something was looking at you the same way, you would feel the same way. And you understand that. You were going through like a complex, empathetic, emotional reaction towards
All
this
right.
happening.
Well, I guess what Us would do would just remove himself from the situation before Urgathoa noticed and was ashamed of him for not killing these creatures.
All right. Just gonna keep walking.
I guess. Yeah,
All right.
I mean, if I feel empathetic with him,
Urgathoa is not ashamed. She lets you know.
all right, I appreciate it.
You don't have to kill everything. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about undeath more than it's about death.
I mean, but you know,
You need death to have undeath, but
death to have, and there's like the reapings and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit.
but those animals are gonna die anyway. They didn't need you to kill them. Things are gonna die without you. Things don't always need your help to die, I guess is the
It's
message.
better though when I help them.
Yeah, we'll be way faster. Urgatho
Yeah.
agrees, had you killed those things, they'd be dead already. And that
Yeah.
would be awesome. She'd be totally psyched about that. But she knows they're going to die either way, and it's all the same to her. She's a god. Like, the way
Okay.
you think about time, the way she thinks about to her, to Urgathoa, you're all already dead.
So I get brownie points with Urgathoa. Is that what you're saying?
You don't get any brownie points, but she's not mad at you for not killing them.
Okay.
She would be mad if they were dead and you didn't bring them back to life as undead. That would be more upsetting than you not killing something. Because Urgathoa is more about undeath than death. Note that.
But there's also the reaping.
No, I agree. The reaping's important. But
Yeah.
reaping these innocent animals, I mean, reaping has a purpose
Okay.
usually.
All right, we're
You
done.
reap the wheat when the reap is ready to be reaped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
Alright.
wait till everything has a season. This obviously wasn't the season for that animal, so you're fine.
Everything
Turn.
Yeah.
You got it. So yeah, this obviously wasn't the time for this animal to die, and Urgatho recognizes that, and you recognize that, and it feels it's a weird feeling for you because because you're new to Urgathoa. You're just now getting the nuances of death and undeath, of balancing like when to kill, when not to kill. It took you a while to learn that lesson of not always killing everything. So I think that this was like a moment for you, really.
Yeah.
But you head towards Southport to find your friends.
All right.
Correct? You enter the town of Southport. It's bright. Do you have your umbrella?
I do
Out?
have my umbrella.
Or is it out?
I can take it out.
Well, you probably want to, or you're going to pass out.
I've got quick draw.
All right, you quick draw your umbrella as soon as it gets bright out.
Yeah.
All right, smart. You're able to, because it has absorbed some moonlight, although it only has...
This is 8 hours, right?
But you've been sleeping indoors, not outdoors, so it's only got 1 hour of charge right now.
All right. Well, I can.
But it's dusk now. It's about 6 o'clock at night. So you feel like if you could make it like 2 or 3 hours, you'll be fine. So maybe if you can get indoors in the inn or the tavern, you'll be fine. You know that in Southport, those are the two places that don't have a sunroof. But you know you've got an hour of just walking around with the umbrella, you're fine. 'Cause I rolled a d6 and it was a 1. I apologize. I was hoping for more than 1 hour for you, but that's what I rolled. But you have 1 hour of just wandering around, and then after that you either have to get to the inn or the tavern. And you know that. To get away from this bright light until like midnight. There's like a 3-hour window of darkness in this town, so...
All right, I forgot this place sucks.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, it's not built for you.
Yeah.
But do you head to the inn?
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the inn.
All right. You're recognized right away by the inn owner,
All right.
who is a member of the Blighting Light Guild. And he alerts someone using a secret code with his hands. He makes a signal, and then
Forgot about all this.
that alerts someone else, and in walks a very beautiful female elf who greets you and asks your name.
I'm on a sense motive.
All right.
That's going to be a 16 on sense motive.
She seems like a totally pure and good individual who just earnestly wants to know your name.
Do a perception check.
All right.
That was a critical fail. Alright. So that's like a 5 on a perception, so
Other than the fact that she's like an elf with golden skin, that's all you really pick up. She's
Okay.
very, very calm, very eloquent.
Alright, I'm just gonna say ask.
She says, "My name is Longa."
Hi.
She says, "I've been watching you, Osk."
Should I be concerned?
She says, "Do you think you have something to be concerned about?"
I don't know, some people interpret my actions poorly.
She says, "Well, then maybe you should watch your actions."
I think other people should just interpret things properly.
she laughs. They've been watching you. They know who you travel with. That's all she says.
Alright.
Waits for your response.
I said, who's that?
She smiles and says, "You don't know it yet, Osk, but you're very special."
Ooh, baby, you so special.
People always make fun of me for being special.
Nah.
She says, "Well, having a poisonous ejaculatory duct isn't something that everyone can handle.
Yeah, I can't.
It's not a life that it's not everyone's chosen, though. And I happen to think that you're very special.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk to you about an opportunity."
I already have 2 religions, thank you.
It's not a religious opportunity necessarily.
Alright.
It's porn. No. Do you want to use that ejaculatory duct to make money or what?
Yeah, then I'll shadow out of my poisonous ejaculatory duct into someone else's.
Mouth? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
No. She says, "What I'm offering you is the chance to do great good in the world."
I don't know if I can do that. I mean,
Would you be opposed?
I'm lawful neutral.
Yeah.
So what's not good about that? That's why she chose you. That's why she likes you. She's
Alright.
talking to you on purpose.
Okay. Alright.
She
well,
says, Urgathoa sometimes gets a bad rap. And I think, personally, I know Urgathoa's not all bad.
Alright.
And I feel like maybe you could be a better representative than some.
Okay.
She says, maybe spread the good word of Urgathoa.
I'm suspicious.
Roll this motive if you want.
Alright, that's an 18 on sense motive.
She seems totally genuine.
Alright. I still tell her that I'm suspicious.
Alright, she's fine with that. She's like, I'm used to that. There aren't a whole lot of us left in the world. She does a sense motive. She's like, I'm not sure if I can trust you.
Well, the feeling's mutual, I guess. This is a very strange interaction for me.
She says, I know, we don't usually approach a lot of people, but the situation's gotten kind of dire, to be honest.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, and she starts to explain something to you that no one else in the game knows anything about.
No.
She starts explaining to Osk about the great crystals. You don't realize it yet, but you're a pawn in a great game.
Alright.
She says, every 50 years, the seat of power is challenged. And that time is coming. And whoever's in charge knows it. And every time the seat of power is challenged, there are 9 chosen ahead of time that have the capability of approaching the seat of power. There are 2 seats of power, one good and one evil. And there are 9 that are predestined, pre-chosen, that may make their way there. And then, if those people come in contact with other people, those people may also gain access to this power. just by coming in contact with them. So 50 years ago, these 9 individuals were locked away, hidden, for 50 years in hope that they would come in contact with as few people as possible, therefore minimizing the chances that anyone else will be able to grasp at this power. But Osk, somehow, they came across your path, and the path of many others, and that is now wreaking havoc upon our world.
They smashed my path.
Yeah. And we're trying to do some recovery work now and get the upper hand. It seems there's a balance between good and evil. There are 2 crystals that have power over all the rest, and 2 people that have power over all the people in this universe. Even you, all of the people you've met, are being controlled by these 2 individuals when they're in proximity to any magical crystal controlled by them. And they've been using you to complete their own ends. And both of them know that one day one of you will take their place. As they're grooming each of you and trying to figure out which one of you will take their place in these seats of power. And we're worried now because it seems the dark side has gained more power than the light. And they think that maybe they can sway you. She tells you that they've recently brought your friend Ramses back from the afterlife and given him a second chance at reclaiming this power. And they're looking for more warriors that could fight for the good of the universe. You can still kill, you can still bring undead, as long as the greater good is served, is the main thing that their main concern is, that as far as the universe and the world is concerned, there's someone out there to protect them so that evil doesn't have all the power. Because if evil controls both crystals, we're in deep trouble. So we need at least one hero that's pure of heart to make it to the end.
Well,
I mean, that they know it's a lot of responsibility and a lot to lay on you.
Well, I mean, this all sounds intriguing, but it's still very vague. I mean, how is it that I was being used as a pawn? I haven't done anything.
She says, do you think they met you by accident? Do you think that you came on this adventure and left your hometown? Do you think that was all just coincidence? Do you think you ended up here as a coincidence?
Wait, are the other members of my party, the other 8 or 9?
She says the original capsule contained 8 or 9 of people we knew of great significance. People we knew affected the timeline.
All right.
And says, but then everyone that they encounter becomes a potential to affect the timeline as well. And they encountered you in the caves in Reyes.
All right.
So you now have the potential to also encounter a crystal and also become part of this great power and possibly attain one of these 2 seats of power.
Well, in order to do that, what do I have to do?
You have to first find and touch one of the great crystals to become a mythic, and then ascend higher than any of your other party members enough that you can face off and replace one of the people that's already in charge.
Who is that person I have to replace?
Says the researchers have been working very hard on that for a long time. They says, well, we know who is in charge on our side. It says, but if we could, we'd rather take out whoever's in charge at Cranagris. Because if we do that, then there'll be 2 good crystals, and good will rule the world again, and there'll be no evil in the world. It says, but if not, if we groom you enough that you can replace our crystal holder, if something bad happens, we'll at least have someone there to take their place. It's always important to have someone ready to take a crystal holder's place. So if nothing else, you'd be groomed to take over the white crystal, if you can't find a way to take that. You'd be the next in line.
I mean, are you sure you want an Oransi half-orc oracle or Orgathoa to do that?
They say, well, originally they were trying to groom Ramses. They said they led his path, but he was stubborn and ended up getting himself killed, and now he's just a spirit, and even though he has gained some of the power and may be able to still grow in the ranks, they worry that since he's not a living creature, they need someone to replace him, and there's not anyone else they can think of that comes to as close to being good as you, I guess, in your party. Besides Juan, which they haven't been able to make contact with. They will
Kinda evil lately.
they will express interest in making contact with Joanne and recruiting her to their side as well. And they'll ask you to pass this on if you're not willing, or even if you are willing and you want to bring more people on. They say everyone in your party, everyone that they've come in contact with, if you can bring them on the side of good, including Cersei, Morgan, everyone. If you can bring them, they want you to convert everyone to the side of good if you can. But they've definitely expressed the interest that Juwan is probably a candidate. Ramses was one. Anyone that's obviously good. They stray away from anyone that may flip-flop, because that can be very dangerous, because they can get all the way to the end and then turn evil when they have the power.
Well, I think what sort of grooming takes place?
When she does detect alignment on you, what alignment are you?
Lawful neutral?
Alright, she says, you're already lawful neutral, which is, a lot of people think that what we want is someone that's good. And she says, that helps. But to be honest, to have a lawful neutral replace an evil in the world would still be better. You know what I mean? The lawful neutral is actually, when it comes to good, like there are, in the outer planes, there is a lawful neutral plane that's just beautiful. It's beautiful, wonderful also. Like there's nothing wrong with it. So that's a totally fine alignment to do this, to have this power, and to have this job that they're considering you for. And that's why they've chosen you, basically, because you're not evil, you're not too chaotic. They feel like you would make choices for the good of the world. Because once you have this power, you control the world. Like these people have the power to influence you, and you didn't even know it. Like they've pretty much been pushing you on this adventure the whole time. You didn't know it. She says that the head researcher is the one that brought you to her. This has been a path all along to bring you here. You're a backup plan, basically. You're a plan B.
Plan B.
You're plan B.
That makes me feel really good.
Sorry, she's honest and she's telling like it is.
Yeah.
They need someone good, and you're the goodest thing left right now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna commune with Urgathoa because I'm Urgathoa first and foremost.
Okay.
Make sure it does not offend her, and then if she consents, then I will agree.
All right. Roll me diplomacy with Urgathoa.
That's going to be 15.
All right, that's just enough. Urgathoa seems unsure at first, but says as long as you don't neglect your Urgathoan duties, she wouldn't mind having a better reputation.
Okay.
She says sometimes Urgathoa gets a bad rap, and then it's not, just because it's about death and the reaping doesn't mean that it's all. Some things need to be reaped, like what I mean. Sometimes you got to reap a crop.
Yeah.
So yeah, she thinks you can help clear up Urgathoa's name and make her a better respected deity, less looked down upon, if you follow this path.
With her consent, I agree.
All right, you're now an initiate into the Researcher Guild.
Now, what about my light sensitivity?
You're still sensitive to light, but you guys are indoors now in the inn, so you're fine right now.
I mean, aren't they like Guild of Brightness people? Like, isn't that like
the Blinding Light Guild works for the Researchers, but the Researchers are not the Blinding Light. Those are two separate things.
All right.
Blinding Light Guild is a guild that exists solely in this town. That's a guild of do-gooders. They do work for the Researchers, but they are not Researchers. Researchers are like a level above them, just like the Westport military is a level below the HBI.
All right.
So the Blinding Light Guild is a level below the Researchers.
Is it a conflict that I'm a member of the military?
Yes, but Longa tells you she knows you have ulterior motives. She has telepathy and she has the ability to read your mind. And she knows your thoughts, and she knows why you did the things you did. And she knows that you're trying to get rid of the Drow, which is her motive. That's one of these. She knows why. She's talking to you for a reason. They've been watching you.
Right.
She says she knows that you've been trying to take out the Drow, and the only reason you joined the military is because you wanted to stick with your friends, and you thought it'd be a great way to get in with the Drow. And she agrees. She thinks that if you can destroy them from the inside, that's good, because they have little power outside of Southport, and they feel like if you could do any good around the world, anywhere, they can offer you some rewards for that.
All right.
So.
Cool.
Osk, official plan B. They say, wait down here. They tell you about Ramses. They tell you that Ramses has taken over Vortiga's body. You know Vortiga, right?
Yeah.
So they tell you what's going on. They say that Vortiga has a room upstairs with 2 HBI agents. They tell you one of them is Morgan in a new body. So you know everything that's going on, basically. She's giving you a full debriefing. She says that she wants you to wait here downstairs. Because whenever Vortiga comes downstairs, it may or may not be Ramses.
Okay.
Yeah, but you get.
Because she never knew, it could be either one of them in control of the body. And so she says if it's Vortiga, you need to make sure that Vortiga doesn't do anything evil or destroy any property in town. You're basically like doing Ramses' job if Ramses isn't in the body.
Okay.
If it's Ramses, reunite with Ramses, and you guys will work together. Ramses is part of this whole scheme too, so you guys will be working together to try to recruit everyone else over to this side.
So basically, what I need to do is find a crystal. What you're saying.
Yes. You and Ramses are both trying to find crystals for the... Make sure only good people touch them, which can be you now, because you're now they consider you a good character. Hopefully that you don't turn. You can still turn in the end. It's a game. Anything can happen. But right now, they consider you good and not a threat, and they want you to have power because you're not a threat. And Ramses and you are supposed to stop anyone else that's not good from touching a crystal. So you can, yes, now touch a crystal. They will debrief. They say once you have Ramses to come find her in the temple, and that she will give you guys the location of a crystal.
Okay. Great.
But make sure it's Ramses before you come see her.
Okay.
And you wait.
Yeah.
She leaves. You wait downstairs. The next morning, downstairs comes Vortiga. She's coming downstairs. She's left her two co-workers upstairs asleep in bed.
Yep.
She's got a list in her hand, I assume.
Yes. List of
Things to smash.
smash it.
You come downstairs. Roll me a perception check.
Tell him you can sit here now. All right. Natural 20. Bam.
You see Osk right away. He's hard to miss. He's got a fucking centipede body.
He is a tough.
You immediately see Osk in his weird centipede body, hanging out downstairs at the end. Looks like he's probably waiting for you. You feel like, whenever you come home late at night and your dad was like waiting up because you stayed out too late? You feel like that. You feel like Osk has been waiting up for you. He's got an Everwake amulet, so he probably hasn't slept.
Where's Caligula? I'm still
Asleep in bed.
All right. Well, wake up. Yeah. I want to wake up.
You can roll a Constitution save.
Oh, were you knocked out or something?
He was.
Oh, no. Yeah. Never got awake. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that should did go down, didn't it? I'd say 14.
Nope.
Damn it.
You almost wake up, but then you don't. You fall right. You do that thing where you like sit straight up and say a funny word like poopy tray or something, and then fall right back down.
Fuck, I guess.
Yeah, you say one two syllable word and fall right back to sleep.
Damn it.
Yeah, and you go back to dreaming about smashing things.
Smash.
So you still think you're smashing stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm smashing all the things.
So downstairs, Osk has run into Vortiga. They recognize each other, are surprised to see each other.
Alright. Now, how am I going to know that it's Vortiga or Ramses?
Don't ask. You figure that out on your own, man. It's D&D. Don't ask me.
Well, she said she was going to tell me if it was Vortiga or Ramses.
She told you that Ramses' spirit is inside of Vortiga's body, and either one could have control.
Alright.
She didn't tell you how to figure out which one's which. She just said, don't bring Vortiga to her unless you know Ramses is in control.
Okay.
You figure out how to figure out which one's in control on your own. But she's clutching a list in her hands right now. She might tell you what she's up to, and that might give you information right away.
Yeah,
Depends on what Vortiga says.
Yeah, I'll ask Vortiga, what have you guys been up to? I'm sorry I fell behind.
Well, we've been out here. We've been trying to smash some shit.
Oh. Alright.
Plans as usual. I got an intern up there. I'm trying my Vortiga voice.
That's fine. I like it. Keep it up.
I need to get it more like gravelly, girly, like Mac's mom, and always so just.
If you want, I can pitch it up later and when I edit it. It'll make it one step higher. It'll sound really good. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we got intern douche up there. Don't know what the hell he's doing. Just talks about smashing all day. We're gonna smash. He's just a fucking idiot.
Oh, alright.
And we got off from Nevercrug and ended up back down here, and we're about to go out and try and figure out how to destroy the lids and destroy the glass shop and destroy everything. Make get our job done.
So you could do a sense motive if you want, but I think you could probably tell from everything he's saying who's in control. I don't know how big of an idiot you are as an orc, but...
I don't think I need to do a sense motive.
Alright, you think you can figure it out?
I think so.
You're dumb, but you're not that dumb? Alright.
I'm not that dumb.
I know, I agree. You're an oracle. You're a smart orc. You're not very strong, but
Yeah.
you're smart. That's why I like you.
I got
Because you're a
17
contradiction in terms, and I love it. But yeah, I think you're able to pick up from what's going on. I think I also believe from that conversation you'll be able to discern who's in control.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah. All right. Well, when are you gonna? What's the lens? What was that again? I can't remember. I remember we talked about this a long time ago.
I got it, bro.
No, I'm just talking to you, character.
Yeah, no. I got it. Well, with the celestial lens, it's all their telescopes and everything. I don't know exactly what it does, but I've been told it does some crazy shit. And what we're here to do is figure out a way to either make an accident happen or just steal it.
Osk, I would say Longa did tell you about the Celestial Lens. It's one of the things they use to spy on the HBI. It allows them to see pretty much anywhere in the world, even into outer space, and they can also use it as a weapon, a light weapon. So she told you that they have that and that the HBI is after that, and you know that's something they're trying to protect.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, look, I already helped you with the book in the library, and you guys promised me you were gonna help me with the drow, and I haven't seen any of that yet.
Well, we'll help you with the trial. We've just been here, and we've got to finish with a job we started. I've been transported back twice now.
Yeah, but a deal's a deal, man.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't held any of the full deal. We did the library.
Right.
But we have more to do.
Well, sure, but I got stuff to do, too. I didn't join the military to help you just destroy shit. I have my own mission as well. If you want my help, you're going to have to help in return.
All right.
Well, you can roll a diplomacy battle if you want to decide if that works or
Well,
not.
no, I would go with this because Ortega is a character of intelligence and cunning, and she would realize that Joey's character is just one-channeled into Smash, and that a stealth operation would be a failure if it's just me and him.
Yeah.
Because although I have stealth,
He will not.
Yeah, and he's already fucked shit up in Northport?
Where you guys just were, yeah.
Well, no, where did he smash all the... It was Westport.
Oh, that was Westport where he smashed the lab up, yeah.
Yeah, so I've already got that on my plate. I need to get a good, rapport with him, because even though I'm an evil character, I still work at the HBI, and an intern reflects his...
Yeah, you get a bonus if he gets all the way through. If he makes it through the internship and gets fully recruited, you get a bonus. You know that.
Exactly.
You can make some money off that deal.
And also, you're a man of contracts. Right?
Well, yeah, I'm a man of contracts, and technically...
Well, your contract is to do all this stuff in Southport. You have less than a month. You have like 3 weeks left to do this
But
stuff.
I'm a man of my word to a certain degree.
It's true.
Like,
'Cause you're
lying in things that benefit me.
Yeah, you're lawful evil, right? So yeah.
I still have a stern...
If you're lawful evil, then if you said you are a man of your word, or
Well, see, I'm
a woman
chaotic
of your word. Oh, chaotic evil, then you don't give a fuck about that shit.
I know, but we talked about it with the HBI's rapport. Of
Yeah, but you have 3 weeks left to do your job, or you're going to be in serious trouble.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is we gotta. I'm on a time schedule.
I will say, Vortiga knows people that don't finish HBI contracts. Like you've had coworkers, but yeah, you've had coworkers before that didn't complete a contract. It does not end pretty. Like that means that's like if your contract gets terminated, that's your soul. That's like your life ends. You're gonna die if you don't complete this job in 3 weeks. You will die.
That's what I'm saying. And so that's why I am on a time based schedule, and I really need to get this job done, and then I'll pledge my full service to anything you need in turn with taking down the drought. If you just help me with this lens in particular, everything else on the list is secondary. I just have to deal with this lens.
It's
steal
true. If he comes back with a lens, that'll be proof to his boss at his job. Even if she's HBI, so they're willing to she's willing to lie about doing the rest if she can come back with some evidence and be like, I did. So that would be proof.
I can convince this
She could lie, yeah.
that we broke everything else.
Well, I mean, what about the book? That was pretty important.
The book is a side thing. Let's go with that. The book isn't necessarily.
The book and the lens are probably equally up there.
But the book is going to be much harder to find with this magic because I personally saw.
And you know where the lens is. Like, the lens is easily locatable in town.
And
I mean, we know where the book is, though.
well,
Okay, so Oz tells you that Oz says, I know where the book is.
do you think you could destroy it or steal it?
I mean, probably could, yeah.
If we can get it to Westport, we can put it on the teleporter and get it to the destination. But it's going to take some real skill to be able to strap the book down to.
So
whatever
Vortiga's
surface.
willing to lie about everything else if you could leave her with this one thing so that she doesn't get, so that her contract doesn't get broken, basically. She wants to be able to return to work with proof and that not die.
Do one or the other. It's your call. And then I'll help you completely. You have my word.
I'll help you with the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we'll do the book. Since we have Joey's mind warped, he already thinks we smashed everything, correct?
You don't know that, though. But yeah, whenever he wakes up, that's what he's going to think. But you don't know that yet.
Yeah, Ortega does it. Ramses does. And if I could get him back to the HBI, he would be proof enough. They wouldn't double check on the lens.
I mean, if you say, because they said you could destroy it or bring it back, so you could lie. Because Vortiga's willing to lie.
Yeah.
Vortiga would be like, yeah, I did that. Look, I brought the book. There's the proof right there.
Yeah.
And the other guy's gonna. You don't know that yet. But when if the other guy wakes up, you could be like, we smashed everything overnight, and he'll be like, yeah, well, sure, hell we did. But you don't know that yet. But you know, it's all things that have to play out. But maybe you could lie. You thought he was pretty dumb anyway. Even if you didn't know that was going to happen, you could probably lie to him. Even if you didn't know he was going to agree with you, you could probably just lie to him and say that you did it, and he'd be like, damn, I missed it. That's what you would probably think.
That's what I was going with. Was like
Either way, you think you're fine. You think that guy's an idiot, so you're not worried.
No,
You're like, if we just get this book, that's enough proof that I did my job, and I won't lose my job and die.
Barbarians are easy to manipulate.
Yeah,
You
I've
can
got
roll
all
high.
kinds of manipulating spells anyway. I'm sure I can figure out something.
Yeah, so you offer to help.
All right, so yeah, we will quest to the book. Where is the book?
All right, do you guys want to try and wake up Morgan or this intern to bring him with you?
Yeah. We'll try and do it. We'll do Morgan first.
All right, roll a Constitution save for the Morgan sheet. Either one of you guys can control that. I know, Pat, you already have a really complicated character, so if Oz wants to do Morgan, that's okay too.
Oh, Morgan shit.
Yeah.
I guess. What am I doing?
This is Constitution to see if she wakes up.
It's a +1. They,
13.
No. All right, now you guys want to try and wake up the intern as well? Viva?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Roll a Constitution check there, Viva, and then I'll let them roll strength checks to help, if you want to, help.
I mean, I rolled a 17 on this ring.
Oh, yeah.
I
All right, they're shaking you. You rolled a 5, though?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
rolled an 18 + 5.
All right, because they're both shaking you really hard, I'll let you roll 2 more times.
Okay.
Come on, Joey.
That's a 7.
Joey, roll with a different dice. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that's a 17.
All right, so it takes a while. They finally shake you awake, and they're like, damn, son, you were sleeping hard.
I cast create water.
And you splash him. Okay, that finally wakes him up. And he's like, whoa, and he starts ranting about the crazy night you guys had. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I must have slept late. We had such a crazy night. We smashed this. He starts going on about the things you already smashed. Vortiga sees this opportunity. You just think he just had a dream about, you don't know what happened. You just think he had a dream about it, and you're like, I could ride this. You realize this is your out. Because he's already agreeing to all the lies you want to set up. So you're like, sweet. And so you're like, yeah, buddy, we just have this one last thing to go get. So roll me a bluff check to lie to him and say, yeah, we just have this one more thing to go get, Vortiga. Because you are bluffing.
Bluffing. And that's a 19 + 2.
It's a pretty good bluff. Roll me a sense motive there, Viva.
Sense motive, that is
Oh, that was a really good roll, Brian, and he's not.
All he has to do is not beat it.
Well, my wisdom's still 0. Oh, wait, no, it's now -1. What's left? No,
So as long as you don't roll a natural 20,
which could happen.
could happen. This is a game.
Nope, 15.
Alright, so yeah. You don't suspect anything.
I'm in.
Vertiga's like, yeah, we smashed all that stuff. Let's go get this one last thing we have to get.
Fuck yeah, as long as they're smashing them all, I'm down.
Yeah. And you're like, well, this is more of a recovery mission.
Well, I'll find something.
Alright.
You can smash the people around it. There we go. Why do you want to smash everything? He's a barbarian.
That's what he does.
Am I still enraged from the crystal power?
No, this is a long time later. This is days later. You're just back to normal now.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. You're just you're your normal rage level.
That was so well last time.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a good boner while it lasted.
That's a good battle.
I think that we should try. I guess we should leave Morgan here if we can.
You want to pay another 10 gold for the inn?
Yeah, fuck it.
Alright, just pay 10 gold for the day to
I'll
hold.
keep 20 just in case. It's
Alright, yeah.
expedite.
Hold that room for us, is what you say, and the guy nods. He gives you a look, Osk, whenever you leave, and like nods at you, a knowing look. You can roll sense motive if you want.
Yeah, something like
Don't mind their statue in the room.
It's 18 on sense motive.
Yeah, you sense he was with that nice young elf lady. Since he's like on the same team, he was like giving you a knowing look, like keep an eye on that one type of thing. So the three of you walk out of the inn. You're now in the town of Southport. You have pulled out your umbrella wide awake, I assume. Did it charge overnight? What happened with your umbrella overnight?
Were we there overnight?
You were. Did you like leave it outdoors or like?
I guess that's what has to happen, right?
Yeah. So did you leave it outdoors overnight?
Yeah, I don't have to sleep, and I didn't use any spells, so I could just stand up and walk around outside at nighttime.
So you say you spent some hours outdoors at night at least while you're waiting for Vertigo. You just didn't leave the area. Okay, I'll allow that. We'll go back in time and pretend that happened. That way your umbrella got charged. So you have 8 hours of uninterrupted umbrella darkness as long as you have one hand free to hold your umbrella. Cool. So you whip out your umbrella and have an area of darkness around you so you're not bothered by the bright light here. You guys are free to walk around Southport, go wherever you wish.
Alright, well, I need to go back to that.
I need Viva to roll a perception, though.
Perception check.
Viva! Viva Las Vegas!
That is 21.
Alright, you see the top of the observatory, and
Smash that thing?
you remember smashing it, but it doesn't look smashed, and you're confused.
The fuck? Did I smash it from the inside?
I got some good smashing music on for you, Joey.
I mean, so what we did, I thought we smashed.
So Viva comments that she thought she smashed that last night.
I'm going to cast Enhanced Diplomacy on Volchiga. Alright. And I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, we smashed it doesn't mean that it's just completely broken and destroyed in bits. Like, we smashed it. It's a giant thing. It's not like we have a fucking bomb. The lens is inside. Yeah. Like, we smashed the lens. So, I'm going to use...
So that was a bluff check, right?
No, I was going to... wouldn't it be diplomacy?
No, because you're lying.
It would be bluff?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be without. I'm going to surge.
Surge first, and then Joey can roll a sense motive afterwards to see if he beats it.
Okay, so that's only 4, I think. Yeah, that's 4 right now. And with the surge, that's 5. So that's 9, and I want to surge one more time.
Okay. You have 5 a day.
5 again, so that's 14.
Alright, Joe, you can roll sense motive. If you beat 14, then you will know something is up.
I only rolled 6.
Yes!
You don't, you're like, okay, I guess that's the boss. That's the boss, if you say so, boss.
I guess I smashed on the inside.
Yeah. I remember it different. Sometimes when I get smashing, though, I go into a rage and I black out, and I don't really remember how things happen.
Right. shit got smashed.
Yeah, sometimes things get smashed when you black out and you don't remember what the fuck happens.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. That's just life.
That's what happens when you smash all that.
Yeah. That's just too real. Alright, so you believe that lie, and you guys, where are you going? Are you leading him out of town? Is that what's happening?
Well, we need to get back underground to those dragon caverns. So I'm going to go to the point where we got out the first time.
You're talking about the one outside the city that the dragon dug, or the one underneath the tavern?
I guess someone the dragon dug would be the most direct, right?
Yeah, and probably since the tavern's closed, it's probably locked, so you have to like break into a tavern and.
Yeah, that's going to be suspicious looking. So let's do that.
All right, so you guys leave the town of Southport and walk just a little bit outside of town and find the tunnel that the dragon dug.
Yeah.
And you go through the tunnel.
Yeah.
You reach the underground drow cavern, which has now mostly been emptied out. Most of the stuff's been replaced. Most everything's been cleared out. All the art's gone. All the paperwork. It's very empty. The dragon body's gone. It's basically like an empty cavern now.
Dragon body? Didn't we reanimate it?
But he's not here anymore. He's not here in the drow cavern.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's in his own cave.
Yeah.
But because you have entered this area, I need Ramses to roll a will save.
Yes.
Because you're in Ramses' sanctuary now.
We'll say for Ramses, you said, not Portico?
Well, you have to roll them both to see who wins, but you know what I mean.
Oh, we're doing the battle,
Yeah, always a battle. It's always a battle. You always have to roll twice. I'm sorry. I know you now have the most complicated character. Osk used to have the most complicated character. I know you can handle it, and now yours is probably the most complicated character.
Yeah. So that's going to be an 18 on Ramses' will, and then Ortiga's is only going to be an 8.
All right, so Ramses takes back over because you're in a sanctuary, and all of a sudden, it's like that. What's that movie where the mom changes places with the daughter or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Friday.
Yeah, he's Freaky Friday with Ramses and Ortiga. So yeah, you guys enter this underground chamber. Osk wouldn't notice yet, I guess, until he has some reason to believe you're Ramses again.
Well, I'm going to realize I'm with Osk because Ramses now would.
And you see the dumb guy with you. You remember him from earlier. You tricked him before. So you're not too worried.
Let me check a spell if I have a sleep spell.
Dumb barbarians.
Come on, man, just let him do stuff. Doesn't work. My elven blood means I cannot fall under sleep spells.
Oh, don't tell him. Let him waste the spell first, Joey, and then spoil it afterwards. Let him cast the spell, and then after he's wasted the spell slot, then tell him it doesn't work. You just ruined it. Now he's gonna do something else now.
Okay.
You saved him a spell slot.
Use command and command Joey to flee. Man, why? Plus 2 hits. You'll see. Just so I can get him quick.
I mean, you guys could just you could just be like, hey, hold on right here while we go talk over here for a second. You guys are alone. There's no one down here. There's a separate chamber.
Like, clingy than that. Just be
Well, he's also, like, taking orders from you. Like, maybe he is, maybe he's not. You could be like, back up 10 feet. Like, you're a big, scary hobgoblin that's his boss. Don't let him, tell him not to be... If you're afraid he's clingy, you don't have to, cast flee on him. Tell him to back the fuck up and roll an intimidation check. Don't waste a spell slot on that.
Joey.
You got skills.
Caligula.
Don't waste spells when you have skills.
Let's fall back for a minute. I have to talk to Oz. That's cool. There's probably some chicken smash over there.
Roll diplomacy or intimidation to convince him to back up since you think he's clingy. That's obviously something that's been pre-established.
That's canon now, though.
It's canon. Why don't you say it? Now I think he might be clingy. I'm worried.
Yeah, 17.
Maybe he really looks up to you. You're like his hero. He's like, I remember we smashed all that stuff together last night. I remember smashing all that stuff with you. It was amazing.
That's a 17 plus 8.
All right, so that's enough to convince him to back up however many feet you want him to back up.
Yeah, just fall back. Fine, dude.
Wait here. You guys can go into the chamber next door, which was your sanctuary anyway, the one that's right underneath the graveyard where the dragon used to be.
Yeah.
You can go hang out in there, and he's in the next room. He can't hear you unless he rolls a really high perception.
going to let me know your Ramses?
Yes.
So I need to get you to the temple right now.
Perception check. One.
Here's jack shit. Here's nothing.
You are dumb as
Nothing. You guys feel free to talk as much as you want for as long as you want. Viva will hear none of this. Go ahead.
I'm sitting on the ground.
I'm picking his nose.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Ramses about my encounter.
No, Viva's really like smashing stuff in there. Whatever furniture was left in that room from the raid, whatever chair, whatever like piece of furniture they left in there just because they didn't need it for evidence is now being smashed. So the tables, the chairs, whatever was left, the lights, all being fucked up while you guys talk. But it's enough noise that you know that Viva's not listening. So go ahead.
Yeah, I've been in this situation where I have met the Inquisitor, or the researcher, and she was the one that vanquished this goblin before, Mortiga, I think she met y'all along the way.
Yeah, I met her.
And my mission is to infiltrate the HBI and bring about the destruction of their organization. And, this was always my goal, was to bring the light to the world, and this is really my chance, finally, to do good. Guys, have you seen these chairs? And on the ramp.
Yeah, smash. Other room is just like some guy smashing furniture. And you're like having this like, I just want to do good and like save the world. The next room there's just like a dumb elf that's like smashing everything in sight.
Scene from Office Space. He's just up there with a baseball bat, just like
He's busting the elven fax machine.
Yeah, so this is really like my opportunity to end the darkness.
Well,
Or help it.
well, I was tasked to try to go get a crystal, so that I can also help thwart evil.
Ramses would know Ramses, you would know you're on the same mission. You would probably be able to guess that he talked to Longa at this point.
Yeah. So Longa has asked me to bring you to the temple when you're Ramses. So now that you're Ramses, I need to figure out a way to get there. So I'm gonna ask Ramses. How does it happen that you end up switching from Mortiga to Ramses? How would I know?
Well, in just this embroiled battle of the wills, if you will.
And I will.
And it's just really fleeting with sleep being a factor, with just any action I feel that a conflicted response to, it comes back where I have to just fight away her thoughts and her power coming back over her mind. I would know when I slip away and come back.
And this would be very different. Like, Osk is, like, it's weird because Osk is inhabiting a body, and, like, his experience is, like, he's also had to fight off wills before. So I think he would be, he understands that fight, but usually whenever he fights a will, he's, like, kicked out of the body entirely. Like, you're fighting a will, but remaining in the body. So I think Osk would maybe understand what you're going through to some degree. Because he's been evicted from a body before because the will has rejected him. And so you're going through the same thing where, like, sometimes you're in control and sometimes you're not. But you're always in that same body. That's the only difference, I think. So I think Osk would be able to understand this to a degree.
Well, I'm going to cast guidance on you, so you have a +1, so you can apply that to a will save if the event comes.
Okay.
Just in case.
How long does that last?
Huh?
How long does that last?
Until you use it, but you can only use
Oh,
once.
until you use it? That's awesome.
Yeah, so
it's just the one-time thing.
That's still pretty dope. That's still pretty dope, though. Because a lot of the other ones are for like a minute, or like because they're for battle. This one's nice because like, but yeah, but +1 that you can use any time is dope.
I think there's a mythic. There might not be. I'll have to check it.
I mean, it's only an Orson. It's like a level 0
Yeah,
spell.
but you can also cast it a bunch. I mean, you can't stack it, but you could like recast it like as soon as he uses it, you can cast it on him again.
Yeah.
So it's like a permanent +1 for him, which is nice. You're like helping keep Ramses around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a hero point for that right away.
Nice.
That's very like new white Osk of you.
Guys, I found the chairs. There are tables back there.
They've got ladders too. They've got tables. They've got ladders. They've got chairs. I say we hold a pay-per-view.
What exactly? Are we in the fucking WWE?
Alright, Just bring him along, guys. I mean, like he'll do stuff.
I mean, he's obviously not smart.
I think we can handle his mental ineptitude and sway him into doing what we want because there's violence on either end of the spectrum.
Joey, roll me a perception check for Viva.
Perception check. That's 14.
All right, nothing happens. You're good. Keep going, guys.
So I think that we could really bring him along and just, manipulate his mind or, sway his mind over to our goals just by showing him that you don't just smash, you can have a purpose for smashing. Smiting.
Well, I mean, even Jesus smashed up a temple one time. Yeah, that's true. But he probably can't be in a temple with Longa. Is Longa her name?
He's not evil, I don't think.
You can order him to do stuff.
The new guy? Yeah, I think you can do it. I mean, you know detect alignment.
Yeah, I'm going to detect alignment.
Tell him your alignment, Viva.
Yeah, neutral.
So yeah, that was the whole premise of him being an intern back at the HBI. You were there for that. Like Ramses was there present for that discussion. This guy's not fully evil yet. That's why he's an intern and not a full recruit yet.
Right. Okay.
So he's at the point of his career where they're trying to turn him evil, and Ramses is trying to. So this is another guy that could also go good if you guys are able to, but he could also go evil. Like that's the problem, is that Vertigo is trying to make him go evil, and Ramses is trying to keep him good and keep an eye on him.
What's his name, Ramses?
Because at this point, you guys would know now that Ramses has had contact with this individual is also now a threat because this individual now could also find a crystal because he's had contact with someone that's one of the 9.
Didn't he touch the crystal? He touched one.
He did touch that one, and because he's come in contact, he's already happened. It's already like, you know what I mean? Like he's already become part of this weird, time crux where people cross paths. Like once you've crossed paths with one of the original 9, which includes Ramses, even in spirit form, there's a possibility you might come across a crystal. And if you come across a crystal, you might become mythic, and then therefore might become a threat to the 2 thrones.
Aristocles is still out there. He's one of the 9.
Alright, I'm gonna go out there and be like, hey, Biba, we had a quick change. We forgot something in town. We gotta go back. If you can smash stuff here if you want. Just one table left.
Let's let him smash the last table. Give him like 20 more minutes. Let him finish smashing everything in the room.
Maybe just help him out too. Why not? Smash him.
Yeah, have some fun.
Make him happy.
Everybody has a smashy. We're having a good. That way you can. We're like doing the whole thing. We're like trying to. It's like team building skills. You're like, yeah, we're all this together. Look at us all smashing things for fun.
Let's go.
All right, where you guys go?
Alright, we're gonna go back into town. I'm gonna try to go back straight to the temple, I guess.
All 3 of you go to the Desna Temple.
That's the proper temple for Lango, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dang it.
All right, so you guys go there and wait. At about sundown, it's still brighter than it normally would be, but what would be sundown? Longa shows up. So you guys have been there for a couple hours. Just hanging out, looking at the star charts on the walls and the notes that people have written and stuff like that. They seem to track the star movements and make notes on the walls, predicting things. Longa comes in, sees all of you, sees you, Viva, right away, and shakes your hand. Shake. She kisses you on the forehead.
Oh, sweet.
You're now not going to remember anything until this conversation's done.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've now blanked out. You're being like Men in Blacked right now. All right, you guys go. She says, I see you were able to arrange a meeting.
Yes. Yeah.
She says, that's good news. She says, Ramses, are you able to maintain control of this body most of the time?
Just about 60 to 70% of the time.
She says, the evil usually tend to be weak of will. She says, take, for instance, your friend over here. She says, I take he believes you've smashed everything in town.
Yes.
Says you should be able to use that to your advantage with the HBI. It should help us infiltrate them even more. You should be able to get more inside information, and we should be able to thwart them from within. Just make sure they can't open that gate to hell.
Yes, that's my main goal, is to bring about the light in the darkness.
Says, we've got Osk on our side now to protect the crystals. She said, but I think between the two of you, we can make sure that no one evil gets a hold of the great power.
I agree.
She says, well, I guess it's time to be on your way and continue your mission.
Well, I thought you were going to tell me where the crystal was.
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding me. And she pulls something out of her satchel. It's a scroll.
All right.
It's a map of the island south of here that Ramses will recognize as his home island. The island of Kelnar. And on it is a map to a place on Kelnar.
Got it.
Yep. It's a schoolhouse. It's a map to a schoolhouse on Kelnar. It's labeled pretty well. And apparently there you can find a map to the ruins of a great temple where the great crystal of Kelnar once was. It's been rumored that it was buried under the sand. It's mostly a great desert. So it's rumored that temple's buried under the sand, but if you can solve the riddles of the labyrinth, then you can uncover that crystal and unlock its power. And they feel like Osk is probably suited to handle this task. Riddles!
Labyrinth!
Labyrinth!
Magic jets!
Yeah. But she encourages you to gather as much of your friends as possible because she says you're all connected and it's better if you're all together because whenever you're separated, there's more chance that that they might find a crystal on their own and then you wouldn't be there to stop them. So she encourages you to reunite the whole group and keep them all together as much as possible and keep an eye on everyone and keep an eye on who's good and who's evil. Like, that's your job now, basically, is keeping tally on who's fucking okay to touch a crystal and who's not. And leading the people that are okay to touch them to crystals and then having them protected or destroyed after that. Usually they would prefer them protected. So, that's basically your job now, is going around finding crystals, protecting them, giving them to the right people. And she's leading you to the first one, which is on Kelnar.
Well, if we want to keep reporting together, I don't know where all these people have been scattered to. Yeah.
She can help you find them with the help of the Celestial Lens. If you would need to find anyone, you can go to the Celestial Lens in the Great Observatory. Thank God you didn't smash it. And from there, you guys, since you're now part of this researcher group, she blesses you, and you now have a blessing. As long as you commit no evil act, you have access to all their relics and information, and she can contact you telepathically at any time. If you need information, you can just think her name and get advice on any information the researchers have. You can get researcher information. So you have access to researcher information network, basically.
They have Google?
Basically, you guys have you got brain Google. You got brain Google. Yeah, you just be like, hey, I need to know some information, and if the researchers if they have access to the information, they'll give it to you. And they have access to a lot of the crystals already, so they can any area that they have control over, they can give you information on what's going on there. So it can be very valuable.
Can I touch a crystal that they already have to go visit?
Yes, but you have to get to it, and the only one that they can. They're leading you to the ones that they have control over. Like, the ones they have control over, no one's touched. Like, they try to limit the people that touch them, because anyone that touches the crystal become a threat.
Right.
So they, only because you've come in contact with these guys already, and you're on the side of good, and they think like I said, you're Plan B. Like, you're like Hurley. They're calling you in because everyone else has fucking failed, and they need a guy. You're the guy. So, like, they try to limit the people that have touched these crystals, even on their side. Like, they have the Blind and Light Guild. There's a bunch of good guys that they think are good, and they don't let them find the crystal. They don't let them know where the crystals are, because even that can power corrupts people. So they're worried. They don't let just anyone touch these crystals. Only because of your proximity to the Nine, because you might be able to be in some way able to stop them from the evil ones from having power. It's a complicated puzzle.
All right.
So they've given you the route to help find that, basically. Clues.
All right, well, Ramses, do you want to help me do this so I can be more effective in helping you?
Ramses would be interested because this is his homeland, so I mean.
Yeah, I want to find everyone else too.
But you guys also, like I said, probably want to reunite everyone first and
First, I
fake out the HBI.
Yeah, I have to go back to the HBI.
Longa suggests you first go fake out the HBI, and then while you're on Linya, because she knows that's where all your friends are. They've already done they've done the research.
Yeah.
find all your friends on Linya, and then take them to Kelnar. That's her advice.
Alright. Well,
All go to Kelnar
I want
together.
to ask her for advice for how to keep Ramses in control of his body.
Yes.
She would say, well, it's tricky. She said, Ramses has a stronger will than Vortiga, so it shouldn't be difficult, but there's, sometimes, wills are, it's fate. Sometimes things take over. She says, if you feel like Vortiga's taking over, it seems contradictory, but sometimes the best thing you can do is lead Vortiga to doing evil. Because as soon as she tries to do something evil, they'll have another battle of wills. So if Vortiga's in control, maybe let her do something bad to see if Ramses can take control again. You're only in trouble if Ramses continues to fail taking control.
You let her spank you.
Yeah. So if Vortiga, successfully has will saves that are stronger than Ramses and multiple times, you're in trouble. But usually Ramses will win. So as long as you are cognizant of that, if you see Vortiga's in charge and is leading you to a path that's going to get you in trouble anyway, just tempt her to do something evil and then see what happens.
Alright, well, I appreciate that. That'll be very helpful.
Could go either way, but that's probably your best bet.
Alright. Well, so I'm going to ask them for the information, and so then we're going to go try to fake out HBI then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we need the book then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we can destroy the book.
Can we destroy it in an avalanche? Or like a cave-in?
Destroying the book can be very complicated, she says. She says, I, for one, have never opened the book because it can be very dangerous. But rumors are instructions on how to destroy it are contained within. She says, I think your friend Morgan has read it. If you can get her to wake up, she might give you the information you need.
Okay.
Well, I feel like the information of destroying everything should be enough to get the contract into completion if we can use our witness.
Yeah, she says, well, if you can figure out what it would take, I can make your witness believe whatever. I have the ability to implant memories in his mind, so if you can figure out what it would take to destroy the book, I can make him think that happened, and he could back up your lie, as long as you can maintain control, and as long as you can bluff well enough to fool agents of the HBI.
Well, that's going to be up to you. You've dealt with them before, I've not.
But they'll want to question you, too. I mean, odds are.
They're pretty strict, pretty intuitive when it comes to...
Viva wants to smash Thing is tired of being passed out.
Yeah.
I want to smash a Thing.
So, I mean, it's going to be a tough sell.
Those guys are having a long business meeting.
But it's...
Bring them the book.
But if you bring up the book, it's going to be detrimental to our cause.
Longo would say she knows the Book of Infinite Planes does, if someone can handle the magic of it, grant them the ability to travel from plane to plane, and that can be very dangerous because it can grant them access to souls in heaven, souls in hell. The ability to travel from plane to plane can be a very dangerous thing to do.
You could open a portal with a demonic army and material plane to destroy.
So she definitely does not want them to get their hands on it. She would prefer you guys destroy it too, but she knows that's very dangerous also.
Because they have hell pits, like in the south of Evercrux. The Cobalt are underneath trying to summon the great god Robogug to come up and basically eat the entire universe and all the planes. He's like the ultimate evil.
Anything could happen.
Like he's the worst god of gods.
Didn't you open the book? I tried to, but I was going to die.
And then Morgan Hero pointed you and stopped you from doing it ever. She reversed time, so it never happened. But you thought about it. You definitely thought about it very hard.
I have a keeper. I've got multiple here. So yeah, I think we can get the book and deal with it. And if not, you'll just be vaporized, or I'll be vaporized, and we'll be
I'll be vaporized. You know. Yeah, get Joe to do it.
A little light reading never annihilated anybody, but maybe it will. Find out next time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner.